So hello and welcome to Let's Talk SEO. The FTC has taken action against GoDaddy for allegedly having lax data security. So what that means is that the hosting service was not protecting its customers' data, and the customers' data that came through their website was not well protected. So they weren't using a robust information security program according to the FTC. So, FTC alleges in its complaint that since 2018, GoDaddy has failed to implement reasonable and appropriate security measures to protect and monitor its website hosting environments for security threats and mislead customers about the extent of its data security protection on its website hosting services. Now, this is something I wasn't aware of. I wasn't aware of the fact that GoDaddy didn't have these security measures implemented on its website. But since this is on the back end, it's very hard to know for sure whether or not there is any security on the back end, which brings me to the point where when you are buying hosting online, you have no idea how their back end works. You have no idea how good the servers really are. So you have to rely on their marketing speak and your own personal experience to figure out whether or not you should stick with this host. And you can start with a hosting service. Let's say 1 month. One month is great because you run a server that's super fast. Next month you transfer to another server, and the service becomes bad once you've signed up for 12 months or 24 months, whichever might be the case. So, in its proposed settlement order, the FTC is requiring GoDaddy to establish a comprehensive data security program that is similar to those in other FTC cases, including the recent settlement with Marriott International. So, Marriott Hotel apparently also didn't have great security. But over here it says, and I quote, millions of companies, particularly small businesses, rely on hosting providers like GoDaddy to secure the website that they and their customers rely on. That's Samuel L. Levine, Director of FTC's Bureau of Consumer Protection. The FTC is acting today to ensure all companies like GoDaddy bolster their security systems to protect consumers around the globe. But here's the thing. Their security is not the only problem with GoDaddy. There are tons of other issues. For instance, if you're a new buyer and you've not bought hosting services before, you have no idea what SEO is, you can end up buying stuff worth hundreds of dollars that is absolutely no use. In fact, GoDaddy has their own SEO service. So when you're buying hosting, they'll ask you want web design. You can buy web design from them. You can just add it to the cart. You can buy SEO from them. You can buy ads from them. You can buy loads and loads of stuff. And it's not explained to you. It's made out to look like you need this to run the website, when in fact that is not the case. They'll sell you design. They'll sell you everything else. And so I've had people who had bought like upwards of $5,000 worth of stuff from GoDaddy. A lot of it they thought like, okay, well, we have all of this stuff. Now we're going to rank very well. And it doesn't work out that way. In fact, their SEO is really bad. And that's evident even from their own website. If it wasn't for great marketing, they wouldn't be doing so well. So the Arizona-based GoDaddy Inc. and its operating subsidiary, GoDaddy.com LLC, makes up one of the world's largest web hosting companies with approximately 5 million web hosting customers. So over here, we have the proposed order requirements. So this is what the FTC is asking GoDaddy to do. Prohibit GoDaddy from making misrepresentations about its security and the extent to which it complies with its privacy and security program sponsored by a government self-regulatory or standard-setting organization, including the EU, US, Swiss, US, Privacy Shield frameworks. It also requires GoDaddy to establish and implement a comprehensive information security program that protects the security, confidentiality, and integrity of its website hosting services. Mandate that GoDaddy hire an independent third-party assessor to conduct an initial and biennial review of its information security program. Now, if you ask me, GoDaddy is being let off easy with this. Why? Because their services are not great. Customer service is so bad that you can end up, just not speaking to anyone because it takes so long to get in touch with someone. Now, GoDaddy is not the only web hosting service which is at fault. There are numerous others that have the absolutely same issues. So if you're trying to buy, they will respond to you right away. But if you're having a problem, no one will respond to you. The other problem is their shared hosting. The shared hosting is so atrociously bad in my experience that once you sign up for the 12 months or 24 months, it becomes worse. So as you continue using your host and you sign up for a long-term program, the hosting becomes the worst it can be. And in some cases, your website might not even come up. We'll have, I mean, you speak to the customer service, they'll tell you, you have the quota issues, you need to pay more to upgrade, or whatever that may be. And so you end up being bottlenecked. And if you're trying to grow your site, that's an issue. I've also had problems doing SEO with GoDaddy's website because they have their own proprietary backend that's not really easy to work with. It's not as good as cPanel. It's not as good as some other ones that are out there. So you will have issues with that. But if you're buying from GoDaddy or you're buying from any other hosting service out there, just keep in mind that when you sign up, to sign up for the initial month to take a look. What you should be checking for is the TTFB. The TTFB is the time to first byte. The time to first byte is long or super long, like more than, I would say, 2 seconds long. Then you should decide to choose another hosting service. The way to check your TTFB is to go to Lighthouse speed check. Go ahead, put in your website over there and see what the TTFB is. Now, I know people will say that, if the TTFB is low, so what? You can just use a cache service like the WP Rocket, or you can use a CDN. Why is the TTFB so important? Well, because sometimes, you don't want to rely on that. So the speed of your service, the time to first byte, is the time it takes for the server, for the user, to get the first byte of information. If that is super slow, regardless of whether or not you're using a CDN, Google knows that you're not providing a great experience. Now, a CDN does improve things. It will improve your TTFB, but that is not what you should be relying on. The CDN or a cache service should only be there, and it should only be for when your website may be down, or when if you're trying to restore your website from a backup, or you're just trying to add that extra bit of speed, accessibility. It shouldn't be there because your TTFB is so poor. Okay, so low TTFB is the best. The high TTFB, like 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 seconds, I've seen with GoDaddy. One of my websites, like 8 years ago, had a TTFB of 6 seconds. 6 seconds, really, it took 6 seconds for the user to get the first byte of information. So I don't have those problems anymore because we switched to a dedicated host a long time ago. If you're a GoDaddy user and you're having this situation frustrating, it's even more frustrating to know that there are other service providers that are doing the exact same thing. The TTFB is very low with shared hosting. You don't know what's on your neighborhood, so there could be a bunch of spam websites that are on the same server, and you can do all the best SEO in the world, but you're not ranking because you're in a bad neighborhood. So, my recommendation is, if you're serious about your business, you're serious about your website, you want to make money, spend the money, put it on a dedicated host. It is expensive. It's very expensive. It requires a degree of technical expertise. But at the end of the day, serious about your business, that's the way to go. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this. Like and subscribe as always, and I'll see you guys in the next video.